Hi, welcome to Childcare Challenges and Dilemma and Justice. Today we have a special guest, a teacher's assistant right out of the New York City, from the Bronx, right? In the Bronx. And
Yes, the Bronx and Soundview.
how long you been doing it? Been doing it?
Uh, this would be my 10th year.
I'm good. Oh, you're so young.
Yes, this will be my 10th year. I started in 2014.
Okay, well, welcome to Extra from Extra Show today, and can you introduce yourself?
How you doing? I'm Mr. X. I work in the Soundview section of the Bronx. I've been a para for 10 years. I love what I do. I've always been told, like, as long as you love what you do, you won't grow old. And as you can see, I still look as young as possible. So hey, like, it's me.
Hey, that's great. Okay. So today I have a list of questions, and I know within, as an educator, there's a lot of challenges that we face, right? Including no pay raises, including job discrepancy. So I would like to ask you, number one, what are the stress and strain of being a teacher's assistant?
One of the stressful things about being a teacher's assistant is literally not having support. When you support, it's just a level of support that you would think you would get with the kids, in the sense of just behavioral challenges that you see sometimes that some other staff wouldn't understand, in a sense,
Mhm.
just based on the demographic and the area that the kids come from. So I feel like just the relatability factor across the entire school becomes like a real stress factor when dealing with being a teacher's assistant.
And you said the stress factor pertaining to the children and where they're from in the community. So I know most children are in the city if they don't have a male role model in their life, and we're that male role model that most of them see. They have behavioral issues, especially young black men, right? When they have behavioral issues, how do you handle it? How do you be that role model for them?
Well, when it comes to me, I grew up having my dad in my life, so I just do my best to instill the things that he taught me into them. And I'm more of a big brother than a teacher's assistant when it comes to giving back to the kids inside the school, because I feel like a lot of people take the role and not understand that a lot of the kids spend most of their days with us. So there's a level of teacher student, but there's also a level of companionship that they need when they're inside the school. So I do my best to let them know that I've been where you're at. Like, you have a safe space to, be emotional, because a lot of young black boys don't know how to be emotional and express their feelings. So I tell them it's okay to cry, but they need to know the root of why they're crying and find a solution. You get what I'm saying? I just do my best to give them steps just to teach them emotional intelligence, because that's what I feel a lot of young black men are lacking.
That's great. Okay, and as far as job description and increased workload with conflict and demand, how do you handle that?
Well, again, with me, it's a little different because I love my job. So it doesn't stress me out at all. Like, I love going to work. I love being there. So I would say that it's just more or less the things that are implemented into the daily lives of the kids during the school day is what stresses me out, because I feel that there should be more things where they learn to work, they learn to achieve certain things, just not be prepared to take a test. Everything is test, 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 and these kids aren't really able to be kids and really experience the childlike behavior, like going on trips and things of that nature. I feel like that's the thing that stresses me out. Like, they keep the kids confided to test taking and things like that, and don't really give them the space to be creative and use their imagination.
So as far as that, you say stress they can, and I know in China, and so they don't. There's a law in China that they don't have the kids take tests until I think in like sixth grade or fifth grade to fifth. They just make sure they don't have they clean. They teach them how to cook the basic stuff when I was growing up, and you think that maybe a lot older than you.
The essentials of life. They teach them how to be people in the world.
Right. And China and Japan, and that's what they have over there. But how wait for that to thrive in America? What would you like to see in place to help children be children again, get them prepared for the world? If you had a law to pass, if you had a say so to speak to a senator or Congress, how would you tell them to solve that problem? To let kids be kids instead of being applying to test taking up and test taking.
I just feel that there should be more teachers that look like the students in their community. And then also, I feel like it should be relatable teachers also, in the sense of, no, I'm gonna stick to what I'm saying. I feel like it should be people that live in the community, who work in the schools, who teach the children that's in their community, because we know what our community needs. To create a system where, just like we had Black Wall Street and all this other stuff, if we ever create a system where we can educate our children in a way where we put them in a position where they know how to cook, they know how to clean, they know how to take care of a household on their own, but they also know how to invest in themselves to be better people, to create for themselves, to create for their families and provide for their families, instead of always having to look for help on the outside. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like that in the school system there should be more PTA, more PTA conversations where the community is invested in what the kids are doing in the school, not just the school staff saying, oh, we should do this for the kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like PTA should be more implemented in the school. Like, as far as the schools go, I haven't seen a lot of parents teacher associations coming together, where they be like, oh, we're going to do this fundraising to get the kids this so they can have this and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't happen anymore. So I feel like that should be something that's implemented. Like, the parents should be more active in their school kids activities, because the parents literally control the narrative when their kids come to school.
And I think that's a discussion and a topic that, as far as how across most of 90% of the interviewing that I've done, is parents involved in. But a lot of these kids come from single households, right? And then sometimes the mom could be a single mom and single dad, right? And I have to work 2, 3 jobs to maintain, and cost of living with inflation is so high. So how would you say to meet them? I understand that they say, you know what, well, you have to put some time for your kids, and then if you don't put the time for your kids, then there's this less involved, and you lose your home, you can't go home. But right now, the food stamp and health care, you need $1 over the kids in the month. So how would you say to parents like those that say, no, I'm going to have to work 3 jobs, maybe do a little Uber, maybe sell some water, maybe do Walmart, maybe do, what do you do for those parents?
I feel like we need to keep our money in our community.
Mhm.
If we don't desire the things outside of our community and desire more than what our eyes see, that struggle will be a little less. You get what I'm saying? If we literally decide to say, yo, I'm gonna cook a little more, I'm gonna stay home a little more,
Right.
just a little bit of that discipline can change that struggle just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's my belief. I feel like social media plays a big influence on the generation as well. People see these things, they see it all the time, and they feel like they should have it. So then they become, you see what happens. It becomes, oh, I need this, my child doesn't have this, I have to go do this, I have to go do this. You don't even have time for the things you see. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
Take a step back, make a little sacrifice, and put your priorities in place. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, because it's not. Like, my mom was a single parent. You get what I'm saying? I know a bunch of single parents, but through the struggle, they made it through. You get what I'm saying? And it's just, as you get older, you start to realize, like, there's things that need to be put into perspective. My priorities need to be put into perspective. I don't need all this other stuff when I can make things work right now. And if I can make it work right now, things will get better in the future.
Well, like you said, I think that has to do, like you said, social media and your surroundings. Because when we were living in the Bronx, when I was living in the Bronx, I, when my daughter had surgery, I was like, I can't afford for them to go here for the peer pressure, right? And
Mhm.
I was peer pressure in school. And so that's become, we moved to Connecticut, it's a different, I seen a lot of different issues. But Like again, this parent that don't have the necessity to say, you know what, I'm going to move out the Bronx, I'm going to move out the New York City to get my children, I'm going to go upstate New York. And I know you're saying that limit to what you want, limit to what you get. The cost of living, the rent, the light, and I know New York City has a lot of bus that you could take, but parents that say, I can't wait on the bus. I'm going to be late for work. And I know they're trying to make the bus system a lot better. And how can really, stop that where we put a place where parents can spend more time with their kids. These are the challenges that parents are facing and uh, working whether to choose work or to their kids. A lot of parents are doing that, and like you see that in your community, in our community, I should say.
I'm like the devil's advocate when it comes to things like this because I'm big on family. So if you want to spend time with your kids, you're gonna spend time with your kids.
Right.
No excuses. I don't care. It don't matter how much you got to work, no matter what you need to get, no matter what. You want to spend time with your kid, you're gonna spend time with your kid because that is your kid.
Right.
I understand reality and all that, but in reality, think about it. Like when you get sick, you can't go to work, you can't pay your bills, you can't do none of that, but you're gonna want your family around. It's the same thing. Like you want to spend time with your kid, spend time with your kid. You got to make that your boss. Listen, I do it all the time. I tell my boss, my daughter needs me, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You get what I'm saying? It's a sacrifice that needs to happen because she is the future. They're gonna replace me like this, just like that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna overwork or kiss anybody's butt just to be somewhere where if as soon as I make a mistake, you're gonna get rid of me. That's our reality. So I'm gonna make sure my kid is the best person and I spend the most time with them regardless of anything because they are the future. They are going to change the way that we move in the world or the people see us and things of that nature. So I don't know, like that sacrifice. Listen, my daughter called me right now, interview over. I'm going to spend time with her. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. It's no excuses. I made a decision to have a child, so I have to do whatever it takes to spend time, provide, and make sure she's good.
That's good. And not every dad is like you. And she's lucky to have a dad like you. And not every parent is like you. And that's good. Right? Um,
But when we say parent, right, isn't that the basic of a parent? To make sure your child, exactly. So people, like I said, the reality of it, people want too much. Once you make a decision to be a parent, everything goes out the window. You have to do everything to make sure your child is good.
and some parents think that by doing that, as long as to work, as long as they have roof over their home, as long as they have food on the clothes. And
The lack of emotional support, though, that they had as a kid, because we've grown up in households where our parents did what? Work, 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 work. And then the little time when we were hurt or we needed something, it was a little brushed off, or they gave us a hug and we went about our business.
and that's where we got to start from the parent, like changing the parent. And that's why I
Changing
said,
the dynamic.
yeah, so what would you like to see implement to help those parents that not being able to spend time with their kids? What would you, because I know the law, when it comes out to legislators and laws that being passed, especially they trying to get parents involved in. What would you say to them to say, okay, then cancel this? What would you say to the law to make them have to balance? That they could balance their parents to balance working and spending time with their kids. What would you recommend?
I would recommend 10 minutes a day. You can come home, you can sit there. Not everybody drinks, not everybody smokes, but everybody has their one little thing that they do every day for themselves.
Mhm.
Spend 10 minutes every day talking to your child. Hey, how was your day? But really ask them how their day was. If they say good, ask them what was good about your day. Indulge in them. Tell them about your day. That's where the relationship starts. Like you literally been out all day, 8, 9, 10 hours. You're not gonna ask me how my day was and I say good and then you go about your business. That's not an interaction you want to have with your kids.
Right.
Because as they get older, that's exactly what it's gonna be. You're gonna be like, yo, damn, like, why my kid don't talk to me? Because you ain't talk to them. So 10 minutes. Yo, how was your day? Oh, it was good. I had a bad day. Ma, I cursed the teacher out. I did this, or I spit on my friend. I did whatever. Just be honest. You gotta be able to have an honest conversation with your kid, so they can understand that you're human too. Because that's what a lot of kids don't realize. They think that we're born adults.
Right. And that's
They
what,
really think that. Like I work with eighth graders. They really think like, yo, Mr. X, you've never been 13 before. What? Like what? Like that don't make no sense. You get what I'm saying? But when you have conversations with them and you dumb yourself down, you realize like, yo, I can come to your level. I've been sad before. I lost my dad 3 years ago. I've been at work going through it. But I talk to the kids about it because if I don't, they just gonna think that I'm numb. Like I'm numb and I'm not. I'm sad. Some days I'm angry. Some days I'm happy. Like, yo, my dad don't gotta stress out. And then I be sad some days, like, yeah, I really never get to see him again. But these are conversations I have with the kids so they can understand, like, yo, Mr. X is a human. Yeah, he's a man, but he's not somebody that's afraid to express himself. I can be like that and still do everything that I want to do. Yes, you can. And that comes from me having these conversations with my dad. You get what I'm saying? So I just create that space for them. Like, yo, what's wrong? You crying? Okay, come here, give me a hug. What's wrong, bro?
okay, see how you create that space for them, right? I know we have these big brothers and big sisters clubs, and I know the state is cutting funding of some of those clubs that they have, like the town and so on. So I think, okay, the parents that don't know how to show emotional support, so we have to face reality. There's some parents that would never thought that. And
Mhm.
it's pattern, it's a pattern thing. You know, you go through your mom work that, and then parents like my age, some of them that don't know how to show people, oh, just sit down, oh, that's it. They watch TV, and that's the norm that we're living in today. And if we have implement that social, like a big brother, big sister, I don't know how it is in New York. I know in Connecticut they have that, and it's got cutting it. So we're asking for funds from the state to support that, because that's what a lot of kids go to work. That's what a lot of kids do. So
I
you
think they
have
have I
to
think they do have it in New York. I don't. It's called the Big Brother program in New York. Also, I don't know how to get access to it or anything of that. I've been to the website before. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I tried to become a mentor, but I didn't actually follow through. But like that is definitely something that is like they implement in New York. They have a bunch of programs. It's just more or less like those programs you don't get to see them in my community. Like
Exactly.
I've never seen a Big Brother program in my community. I hear about them in Harlem and things of that nature, where the black culture is really strong. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a Harlem thing, but it's out here. I'm not saying it's not. I just know that in my community and where I live at, there hasn't been a Big Brother program. We have this thing called Guns Down, Brothers Up, something like that, if I'm not mistaken, where they do little things for the kids and stuff like that. We have a basketball tournament for them and things like that. But I don't think they're funded by. They did that on their own. Like they just.
What I'm saying, and that's where the challenges come in. That's what I said now. If we get more funding, because the whole thing about this is to show that listen, we like more funding to implement to improve program like that. The STEM program, we have big brothers and big sisters club in the Bronx around the community, right? But the way and then like more funding instead of they come out with pocket. Help from the government, fund this program, these are the benefits, these are what it is. And that's why, like, if we have to sit here and show them and say, this is what it is, I want to know, what would you say to them? You see how you explain it to me, like, I don't see it. I
The
don't
same
see
way I said it to you, I would say it to them. I don't have a filter because my biggest thing is like everybody's been pampered. The world from social media, everybody's so timid, everybody's opinion matters, this, that, and the third. Like the fact is the fact. The kids need love, they need to be educated, and more parents need to do the parenting. So if you're a parent, be a parent. And this is what it takes to be a parent.
it.
That's exactly how they're gonna get it. And in the sense of building that emotional intelligence, it's not to come off rude. It's just more or less like I feel like us as parents, when we have conversation with other adults, we tell them exactly what we need.
Mhm.
We feel like they can understand us, and
Yeah,
we still sometimes don't get exactly what we need.
right.
You are talking to a kid, why can't you tell them like, yo, listen, I need this, or I need you to do this, or can we work on this? I want to work on building a relationship with you. You are my child. That's a conversation you can have. Why not? because as you can see, people don't have relationships with their parents. That's
Right.
a reality. Like that's a real world thing. Like you could walk outside and like hear somebody be like, "Yo, I'm talking to my mom." To me, that's crazy.
Right.
But that's some people's reality. So again, it's just more or less like, so if you cannot have a relationship with somebody, then why you can't have a relationship based off of a simple conversation like, yo, you know what? I want to work on my relationship today with you. Let's hang out. Let's do something. Is there something you would like to do? No? Okay, well, there's something I would like to do with you. Let's go and do it. That's it. Really it. 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And at the end of the day, your child doesn't really have a choice. You're my child, I'm taking you with me.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? But the conversation is
Mhm.
like letting them acknowledge, like, yo, I'm doing something to build something with you.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Regardless if you don't understand what's going on or you don't may not want to do it. When we get together in this space and we're indulging, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna be like, oh snap, daddy's a fun person, or whatever the case may be. Or you get what I'm saying? It's just to get you into that experience and
Right.
understand that this is a bonding moment.
Mhm.
That's all. You just got to create it, regardless of how you create it. You just have to create it. You can be like drop pencils, lick envelopes, or shred papers, whatever the case may be. Just build the conversation with them. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to parenting: talking and communicating with them truthfully.
Okay. And do you think that social media plays a big part in all these children?
I just feel like technology plays a big part. I don't feel like it's a lot of parents. I just feel like them giving the kids the tablets at an early age and just sitting them down like, here, take this. Here, do this. I feel like that is where the disconnection starts. Like, oh, they're crying here, they want the tablet. Oh here, they want this. Oh here, you want this? You get
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like sit down, like even though you know they kids, but still talk to them. Like, yo, today was a rough day. I'm glad you're here. I come home to you. As a baby, I'm telling you, that resonates with them. It resonates with them. Like, yo, listen, they may not understand you, but they understand you. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Like emotion, they are dating, they send self
grasp that.
affection.
Like, I'm so happy that yo, regardless of my bad day, I got to come home to your beautiful face.
Right.
And I can say you're not gonna be mad at me. I ain't gotta worry about none of that. I can just love on you and it's just gonna be nothing but happiness and peace.
Right.
Because you're innocent. You're pure. I have nothing to worry about right now. Like
That's good. That's good. I think the biggest thing is to the parents involved, and I think more funding. More funding should be implemented in school, and I think a lot of teachers like you, a lot of teachers that want to work with, that want to learn education anymore because they feel like the kids are being disrespectful. So I think more funding, we need more funding, especially in the inner city kids. We need to put more programs where we can support the kids in the inner city. And that's what my biggest thing is. Yes, parents support. And then the teachers overwork and then they burnt out. Like you said, there's times when you have bad days and you talk to the kids. And then the workload is so heavy at times that you're like, you know what, it's just pull up, you need help. I remember I was talking to another teacher, that was 2 days ago, and he was telling me that the technology, like you guys, the computer, the iPad that they give after the pandemic, instead of the teachers focusing on helping the kids, they have to make sure the iPad is not broken. When they take it home, they got to make sure this is done instead of hiring somebody to do that part of that work. So that takes time away from you as teachers, from the student to put looking towards iPad. Okay, now I'm coming to you, and then I don't know how many students per class is it down there?
my class is 30.
30, right? So 30, and then it's you and another teacher, right? So,
Yep.
right.
And
So,
mind you, and like I said, like so me being the black man, I I have a 1-to-1, but I have a classroom full of IEPs, like who knows what. But it's me and another teacher.
right, and I understand it.
Every year my class is literally like praised because of the way they behave.
Right,
Because I tell her in the classroom, I say, yo, you're gonna be mommy and I'm gonna be daddy. That's it. You're
right.
gonna teach them, I'm gonna discipline them. That's it.
That's it, but then we need more teachers like you. But more teachers don't have the training, like, and don't have the passion and the drive that you have to do that. like in my daycare that I have a student that all the school in Connecticut, and most of the students don't let him. They like to suspend him and everything, and when he comes there, and his mom, the way his mom deals with him. BCS has been driving into school from a Monday to report a side report the way she talks to him. BCS didn't do anything, right? But when he said, they look at my home as a safe haven. And the mom is like, she don't know what I do to calm her kids down because I love what I do. My passion for I call them my kids when they're here. I give my life to them. Right? They're my students. They're my children. And for people like you and I that love what we do, and when we see that we get underpaid for these things and the payment is not enough, like it makes you have to have a strong will. But then when you have a family and you can't come home and say, okay, then your paycheck is not enough to support your family, what do you do then?
Again, I'm appreciative of like a lot of things. I just learned to be grateful to have a job, to come home to a family. I don't like really stress a lot of things. So when it comes to like a lot of things, it's just more or less like don't overwhelm yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overwhelm yourself. You are a human being. You are a human being. Remember that. You need a day to yourself. And this goes out to all the teachers. Like I talk to the teachers like this at my job. Like, yo, yeah, I get it. I get it. We educators, the kids are a lot and it's an everyday thing. But remember, it is a job.
It is, and we have to do that job.
And remember, yes, you have to do that job, but you have to do it to the best of your ability, not anybody else's.
Right.
And a lot of teachers take on like a lot of I noticed that a lot of teachers take on like, yo, the boss wants us to do this or they want us to do this, they want us to do this. Listen, at the end of the day, you a teacher. You in the classroom. Nobody else is in your classroom. Do what you know how to do best and what you learned how to do. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's another big thing that the teachers get stressed out about when they gotta get vetted and they gotta sit and and the principal gotta come and watch them teach the class and do all this stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of pressure. That's like somebody coming to your house saying, "Oh, why you not watching your kid? Why they in the room doing this?" Like you get what I'm saying? Like don't tell me how to teach because you're not teaching them. You don't know what each kid needs. Every kid is different. So the way I approach them in a classroom, the way I do work is gonna be different from the way I do work with the next class. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of teachers don't take that ability to be unique in their teaching and they stick to protocol. So it takes away from them actually being the natural teacher that they are because, most of our teachers are women. So it takes away from the nurturing and the teaching that they actually can do when they're just sticking to protocol.
Mhm.
It comes to, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to follow this, follow this. Yes, you have to follow certain rules, but you also know what you need to teach the kids. You also know what they need to learn on an everyday basis, and you also know how they should respect one another. So when that get lost in a mix of, yo, we got to teach them like this, we got to teach them like this, everybody has to learn like this, you forget that, yo, kids are going to be kids. Like their brain is all over the place. Some of them are going to learn this way, some of them are going to be hands on, some of them need to see it. Like it's a whole bunch of things that come into play. So I feel like as a teacher, they need to really take control of their uniqueness and natural nature of being a teacher.
All right, and I know after you here for half an hour, maybe I can have you again in another episode. I'd love to have this conversation, and I love that conversation. I really do. You're right. You're so energetic. I love the energy. I love how passionate you are about the job. I really do. I love it. I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have one. I'm trying to have one probably one of the senators from New York. And when I do, I would love to have you. We can have the Zoom, and maybe you could talk to him. Right?
Okay.
And
Just
then
let me know. Stan, know I'm always down to have one of these conversations. So
so I'm gonna try to see if I can get us up there together. And I'm having others from Connecticut, and I'm having our commissioner. He's the one that oversees everything from Connecticut for early education. And she's amazing. She could hear from me. They have to invite you so you can talk to her. She's a little timid when you get to feel like you're being too aggressive, she would have to shut down. But she needs to hear the reality because what we're trying to do, we're trying to see what New York has so we can implement it here.
That's understandable.
And that's
Because I know our kids are way rough than those kids.
trying to see what New York do to make this is the way that it is, so we can say, okay, then let's see how we can implement. I know we do it for Massachusetts, and we went to California, and we're trying to see how all states could just follow that same pattern. So I would love to have you on again if you don't mind, and.
I don't mind.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask and I'm gonna send you a text down and send you the text when she's on. Because I have to give her the schedule ahead of time and then look at her schedule and then I'll let you know.
All right, no problem. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you and your passion, and please continue to be a great job you are. I wish I do IT, so none of my children with special ed. So I wish I had, a teacher like you for my kids. My kids don't go to public school, unfortunately. But when they did in New York, they didn't go to New York, they go to Catholic school. But I'm trying to have that installed into them, that value of education. And, unfortunately, like you said, kids are in the inner city and stuff. And when my daughter goes to college, she was crying, calling me crying because she heard her roommate talking about it. She's like, hey, really, this thing really exists? So, yeah,
Crazy.
And she's like, people really do that. And she's 19, and even my 26-year-old, and my 25-year-old, because that is that when they hear all these things, they feel like, who understand, so, yeah. So thank you for being
No problem.
not only a big brother to them, a father, that uncle, that friend, that one that they could look towards for anything and they could talk to you about it. Thank you. And I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. And thank you. I appreciate being up here. I'm glad I can help.
All right. And I'm going to send you the link so you'll be able to see.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you. Have a blessed day.
You too. Later.